So we'll just wind up with a walk around with the car all closed up so you can have a good look at it. I put about just over 1,000 miles on this car since I reassembled it after rebuilding everything. It's running reliably. You can see that just one tailpipe is blowing out vapor there. That's because everything's cold and you're just seeing condensation. That's not oil burning. Anybody who knows anything about cars knows that. But what you might not know about these old cars is they would start up with the exhaust crossover operating, which means the right bank here is closed off, so the exhaust has to go over top of the engine, under the carburetor, and heat up the bottom of the carburetor and then come out the back. Once the car warms up, that bimetal spring that operates the blockage for this right-hand tailpipe, that opens up and both pipes will exhaust. Here's the car idling just off the 5-throttle cam, and as you can see it's still puffing out the left-hand side. We'll come back in a couple minutes and you'll see the difference. Yeah, I really had a lot of fun driving this car this summer. I had it up to about 85 miles an hour, and it runs pretty good down the road. I'll tell you, it handles like a 1955 sort of sports car, which is what it was meant to be when Studebaker developed it as a prototype car in 1955, and they called it the Speedster. When they took it to some car shows, it was so popular they decided to do a half-year model run, and they built about 2,300 of these cars. And then the next year they evolved it a little bit more and they started putting fins on the back. Otherwise, and some changes to the front end, to the nose. But they basically kept this body style from 1953 until 1962, I believe. So there I'm just showing the oil pressure, and the water temperature is still running a little bit cool, so the oil pressure is running pretty high at idle at 40. But the other thing we want to see is notice that the charging is working as well, and the fuel gauge is working. The tachometer isn't working. There's a mechanism that has to be rebuilt on that fits into the distributor. That prevents me from having the tachometer working. I did get the tachometer rebuilt, but the sending unit still needs to be repaired, and that's not going to happen too quick. As you can see now, both exhaust pipes are starting to push out some water vapor. Don't get worried about that. That's not oil burning. That's just water vapor. As the dual exhaust system warms up, once it gets warm enough, you won't see any more water vapor. You can see how it's warming up now. Both pipes are pushing out a little bit more water vapor, and it's reducing on the left-hand side as the left-hand dual exhaust pipe warms up from one end to the other. As long as those pipes are cold, it's going to condense water, and you're going to get water vapor coming out the exhaust. I know a lot of people that don't understand cars at all, they'll assume that that's blue smoke blowing out from burning oil, but in this case it's definitely not. So I'm in the car now, and I just thought I'd let you see how it sounds in here, and I'm just going to shift it into drive. Low. They've got an odd shift pattern on these older cars. You see it goes from low, it goes back into reverse. And that was so that you could rock a car out of snow or stuck in mud or sand. You could go low, reverse, low, reverse, low, reverse. And you could rock a car out of being stuck. So I just thought I'd do another short video of the engine. It's running off high idle now that it's warming up. And it's a nice old engine. Studebaker made their own V8 engines. This one's a 259. They started out as 232, and then they went up to 259, and then they ended off their production run as most of them were just 289s in the last few years, but they did a couple that were over 300, the ones that had packs and superchargers on them. So there it is, my 1955 Studebaker Speedster Survivor. The paint job on this car's redo that was done probably in some backyard somewhere or by some economy kind of a shop. It's not a great paint job. The interior's been redone too. Originally it came with diamond tufted leather interior, but those rotted out pretty quick. This one has been reupholstered with more conventional interior, which I really like, and that's probably 40 years old too, but it's a Survivor. Don't want to try to pretend it's anything else. It's just a Studebaker Survivor. My first car when I was 17 years old was a 1955 Studebaker Commander, and it was a V8 3-speed with an overdrive, and it was a 4-door sedan. And we had a lot of fun in that car when I was a kid. I drove it, my brother drove it. I bought it off the owner of the Studebaker dealership in a little town called Matsby, British Columbia. His wife was my school teacher. So the Rutliffs owned this car from new. Reuben Rutliff was the guy's name. Not this car, the car I bought in 1967 when I had my first Studebaker. Okay, I'm rambling. Talk to you later. Have a nice day. Bye.